In this video, I'm going to show how to set a close limit on a door that is not optimally balanced or a door that is very heavy. And I'll give you the logic for it. So if you've already set the close limit on accident and it's short of where you need to be, you're going to need to do a reset. And the process for reset is press and hold the reset button. That green status light, reset button is green. The green status light is going to go through a series of flashes. Keep holding until it turns off. It's deleting safety devices, force settings, and when it turns off, limit settings are reset. Let go of it, it goes back to flashing rapidly. So the logic here is that when you run the door in the open position or in the closed direction from the open position, the operator can push more than 200 pounds, but if it needs to push more than about 20 pounds, we want the installer to be in control of setting that close limit to make sure there's no problem with the door binding or anything like that. So I'm going to press and release the button on the remote and run it in the open direction. It's going to run to the open direction, run in the open direction and stop at the open limit. Then I'm going to press and release the button again, and it's going to start running the closed direction. I'm going to simulate what happens here sometimes on really heavy doors. It'll stop maybe right here. So the operator will push about 20 pounds and then it'll stop. And for most doors, 20 pounds is enough to get it to the floor, but heavy doors or doors that don't balance as well, 3-section doors and so on, can take more than 20 pounds to get it to the floor. So if I press and release the button on the remote now, it's going to set this as the closed position. But if I press and hold the button on the remote, after a second it's going to jump forward 1/4 inch, and I can actually repeat that process multiple times to adjust it in 1/4 inch increments if I want. But if I keep pressing and holding past the 1/4 inch jump, after another second it's going to go into dead man mode, and now I just keep pressing and holding. And what I've got to watch for, so I'm still pressing the remote, what I've got to watch for is this bottom seal, because if I keep pressing and holding this, after it goes, after it hits the floor, I'm probably going to break something. I can let off. If I want to go back and adjust it, I can adjust it in 1/4 inch increments again. I can also go back to dead man mode, but at this point, I'm satisfied with where it is on the floor. So now I press and release the button on the remote, and it sets this as travel distance from the open limit. It waits a second to see if there's additional input, and then goes into program mode. If I need to micro adjust the close limit after I've set the travel distance, then I can do that by just micro adjusting this open limit stop. If I need to move it 1/4 inch in the open direction, the close limit, then I just move this open limit 1/4 inch in the open direction, and it'll pull back from the closed position. The operator will go through its force runs, so just let it run until it stops. It'll do 1 or more full cycles. On heavier doors, it'll do more than 1. This half cycle is setting the ramp up and ramp down for soft start and stop. And then when the lights come on solid at the bottom, that means it's done programming, and it'll default to the open position.